Is bulking worth it? This is my 4 months transformation from this point over here to this point over here. Here I was super lean, as you can see, and here I'm a bit more fluffy, and I gained about 16 pounds in the space of 4 months. So, was it worth it to go from this to this in just 4 months, right? So, this is my starting physique, first of all. I've been in the gym 11 months total. This is where I started on the 14th of January 2025. I was 154 pounds, very, very skinny for my height. I'm 6'2". I was very, very skinny for my height. And I bulked up for 7 months. I lean bulked, which is putting on lean muscle was putting on the least amount of fat, right? So I gained lean muscle, putting on the least amount of fat, and I gained up to 171 pounds, right? So at this point, I'm 171 pounds, 9.1% body fat, super, super lean. This was during the summer, and I'd been training for 7 months total at this point, right? From this point onwards, I then bulked up, but this time it wasn't a lean bulk, right? It was more of just a regular bulk, just eating relatively healthy, but eating more in a surplus, right? So I was eating more above my maintenance. I bulked up to 188. Oh, by the way, this is the test that I did to prove that I was 9.1% body fat at this point of a year. So I bulked up to 188 pounds, right? In this picture here, I'm about 188 pounds. As you can see, I'm nowhere near as lean as I was in this picture over here, but I had put on a lot more muscle mass. I had put on 16 pounds of mass on this in this picture right here. This was like a month ago. So, was it worth it to go from this to this, right? Or should I have just stayed lean bulking, which is what I did to come from this picture here to here? Should I have just stayed lean bulking, put on the mass slowly, slowly, and just continued staying lean, but also putting on the same amount of muscle mass? Or was it worth just going up to like a higher body fat percentage, but putting on a lot more size, right? At the same time, because as you can see here, I'm not as lean as I was, but I am relatively lean, and also I have a lot more muscle mass on the frame, right? Was it worth it? Well, again, I guess that's a question that only you can answer for yourself. It depends on what you're doing. In the summer, I would definitely lean bulk. In the winter, I prefer doing this, which is just a regular bulk where you put on as much size as you really can possibly put on, but you go to a higher body fat percentage, right? And this is how I did it. So we're just going to go over through the things I did in the 4 months to put on 16 pounds of mass, which is like 4 pounds of mass per month, give or take. So we're going to go over eating to stay lean and eating to get big. Eating to stay lean is what I did on the first 7 months, and eating to get big is what I did on the second part. So from when I started um, going to the gym, this was before I ever got into the gym here, till this point over here, this is what I did in the first 7 months, and then I'm going to show you what I did 4 months after that, which is from that point to this point here, right? The first thing I did in the first 7 months was eat high protein meals, and I ate relatively the same meals every single day, right? This is super important. You want to eat relatively the same meals, and you want to eat very, very high protein meals, right? So as you can see, this is just a plate of like eggs, meatballs, an omelet. This is a plate of eggs, steak, chicken, and mostly just eggs and meat, right? This is what you want to eat most of the times. This makes sure that you're maximizing the amount of muscle you're putting on, and also you do not put on body fat when you're eating this much protein. And like protein is like a calorie dense food, right? So you're just going to be eating protein, and you're not going to put on body fat. You're just going to keep putting on muscle, muscle, muscle. But also, of course, you need carbs for training, right? So if you're going to go to the gym, you need carbs for that. So before the gym, you can eat carbs. Even after the gym, you can eat carbs. But after the gym, you want to eat a little bit less carbs and more protein, right? Before the gym, you can eat a bit more carbs because you need the energy for the actual training, right? So I ate relatively high protein meals the first 7 months of training, and I ate relatively the same meals every single day, right? Repetitively over and over again. And then After that, in the 4 months when I bulked up from 171 pounds to like 188 pounds, I ate higher carbs meals, right? So I ate a lot more carbs, and as long and I also continue to eat lots of protein, right? But a lot more carbs in the meals, right? So as you can see, there's like more carbs in all these pictures. Most of it is still protein, but there's a lot more carbs. And one more pro tip that I can give you is that have chocolate milk with every single meal. As you can see in all these pictures, right? There's chocolate milk right here, there's chocolate milk right here, even in this picture, right? If you can see at the bottom right there, there's like on the bottom of the fox right there, there's like a glass of chocolate milk. A glass of chocolate milk is like it's 8 grams of protein per glass, and also it's what is the calories? I forgot how many calories it has, but it's pretty high in calories and also protein, right? So it's like just having calories and protein passively when you're just eating, right? You eat you eat 3 meals per day. You have chocolate milk with all of them. By the end of the day, you've just had passive 24 grams of protein and a lot of calories that you've just had. If any of you watch this bodybuilder called what's his name, Sam Sulek, if any of you watch Sam Sulek, you find this bulking tip that I'm giving you right here. He took lots of chocolate milk, so it's one of the bulking tips I took from him, and it's really been helpful, right? To just have chocolate milk with every meal, especially if you're a skinny guy and consuming calories is difficult for you. Things like having chocolate milk are so beneficial because liquid calories are the easiest to take in. If you're like me and you actually struggle to eat food, because I've struggled to eat food my whole life, right? I was like medically underweight for my height, right? I've struggled to eat food my whole life. If you're like me and eating food is difficult, you might want to have like liquid calories, which is just like chocolate milk, right? Instead of having like juice or water, whatever you'd have with your meals, you just have chocolate milk, which is like it's just passive. It's free. Like you just drink it, right? I mean, you're going to eat the meals, you just drink the chocolate milk. It's like free game, right? So chocolate milk with all the meals, super super essential. And also you don't have to be as clean when you're eating. I mean, you want to stay clean, but also you can have days where you have like fries and burgers, and it's fine like that. You can have sandwiches, whatever, it's fine, as long as you're having relatively high protein and carbs, right? But have this like once a week. On all the other days, try and eat as clean as you can, right? Just like in this previous picture where I showed you, where it's just all clean food. It's just eggs and meat, which is just clean food, right? Don't go dirty bulking and eating all these sugars and unnecessary things, right? And also you can have a cheat meal, right? So this is the same as this as well. Like this burger and chips, I would consider this a cheat meal. So you can have that as well. Cheat meals, you can have whatever meals you want to have like once per week, right? You can have burgers, tacos, chicken, whatever, any like whatever the fuck you want to have, right? Just have cheat meals like once a week or something. Because I mean, when you're bulking, these cheat meals actually help you as well. Because if you have like just like all these fried chicken, it's going to help you with your protein goals and also your calories and everything. And also once per week, it keeps you sane because you're just going to be eating relatively clean food. So it keeps you sane and it keeps you from like wanting to just detour and have all these bad foods, right? I don't really crave like the sweet stuff that much, like the desserts and the chocolates and whatever. So I'm fine without having those. But if you want to have like some chocolate on the side with these meals, you can have whatever cheat meal you want to have included, and then you can just eat that once per week to keep you sane, right? Fair and fine. Let's talk about supplements: protein powder, creatine, and pre-workout, right? So these are the three supplements you're going to be taking. We're just going to go through all of these one by one. Protein powder. You want to take protein powder. This is essential. Like this is a non-negotiable. It's not like you choose to take protein powder. No, you are absolutely going to have to take protein powder. Especially if you're a skinny guy like me. I was skinny as fuck. So if you don't take protein powder, you just accept being skinny as fuck your whole life, right? That's just going to be the it's like it's protein powder or being skinny as fuck. Like you have to choose, right? You have to choose one. So like you can just have both. I mean, it's not like you can just be big without taking protein powder. It doesn't work like that. So protein powder, absolutely essential. Have this all the time. Just have a scoop or two scoops every single day when you go to the gym. Simple as that. Creatine, you just have that every single day as well. It's like you just take a scoop of that. You can even put in protein powder, juice, whatever, water, whatever liquid you want to put it in. You take that 5 grams per day, every single day, even on your off days when you're not going to the gym. You take creatine. It's absolutely essential. You just take that every single day, and protein powder. Pre-workout, kind of a controversial one. Some people say that pre-workout is unnecessary, but to me, I think it's been absolutely crucial, like a non-negotiable, just like protein powder. When I go to the gym without pre-workout, my workouts are nowhere nearly as good as they should be. When I take pre-workout, my workouts are good. I'm pushing to failure. I'm pushing to my absolute best. Pre-workout is an absolute game changer. If you've been training without pre-workout, when you take pre-workout and train with pre-workout, you see the difference is just day and light. You will train a lot harder every single day if you take pre-workout, right? So pre-workout is just one of those things that you just have to take. It's very, very good for your training. You push to failure every single set when you take pre-workout, right? Especially like if you take pre-workout, okay, not this is like going to be up to you. I took pre-workout and energy drinks. As you can see, this was like my cabinet thing. I would have energy drinks and then I would have pre-workout. Most like people go to the gym take this, right? So you'd take an energy drink and then take like a scoop of pre-workout. Your muscles will be firing like a fucking V8 engine, right? They'll be firing like pistols in a V8 engine, right? You will just be pushing that weight like the feeling that you have when you're on pre-workout, you can't compare it to just normal carbs and just like working out regularly. You can't compare it. It's just totally different, right? So pre-workout, I highly recommend pre-workout, and then creatine and protein powder are non-negotiables, right? Now we're going to go through training as the last segment of this presentation. So when I was lean bulking, this is the training regiment that I followed, and when I was bulking, this is the one that I followed. Yeah, this is like a 5 day split that I followed. Yeah, this is a 6 day split that I followed. Yeah, on the 5 day split, this is the one that I followed on the first 7 months. So I'll just go back real quick to get to this point here, and you notice when I go back that there were no legs being trained on that 5 day split, right? Again, legs is just one of those things where I was trying to train to get attractive, right? So I was training purely for attraction. I wasn't really training for like strength or whatever. So legs I didn't even focus on them because I thought, well, legs aren't going to get me any more attractive, right? So at that point, I did 5 day training and I trained upper body only, no legs. And then on the other one, you can't see my legs because I'm wearing sweats, but I train legs now. So I trained everything. So let's go back to that training. So I did a 5 day split here. I did chest biceps twice a week. I did back triceps and traps twice a week. And then I did abs and shoulders once a week. Right. This is the one that I followed, and this is the one that I'm following now. And I think this one's a lot better than this one. It's a 6 day split with 1 day rest, right? So the seventh day is a rest day. So this is chest, biceps, shoulders twice a week, and then back, triceps, traps twice a week as well. And then I've got abs, forearms, and legs twice a week, right? This is this close to the push pull legs split that most people have, but instead of having triceps on the day I have chest, I have biceps instead of that, and then on the day I have back, I have triceps, not biceps, right? So these two are interchanged. These are the two differences. But again, with most of these trainings, the split, it's not really about the split that you have that's going to give you the results. It's more of just consistently following one split, right? So just trying to consistently follow one split for as long as you can will give you a lot more results than just trying to follow like different splits. Like which split should I take? Should it be push pull legs? Should it be Arnold split? Should it be Tom Platt split? Should it be all these like different fucking 50,000 splits, right? It's not really as important to follow like whatever split. There's no perfect split. It's just more important to follow one split for as long as you can, as consistently as you can. So for this split, I did it 7 months, and then I just made a few more adjustments because I was like, you know what, I can go to the gym an extra day. So if I had an extra day to go 6 times, if I'm pushing to go 6 times a week, what can I add? I can add legs and another day of abs. So I then just distributed my workouts to fit all of this. And also forearms, I didn't train forearms on the first part, and traps as well. Here it's actually traps and neck. I train traps and neck now, and here I just train traps. But all of this you don't really need to worry about when you start. Things like neck, there's no reason for you to really train that when you start. You can if you want, I train it. But when you start to worry about all these other things, just worry about getting one split and then just following it as consistently as you can for as long as you can, and you will see results guaranteed. That's it for this presentation. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel.